Hello everyone, this is Zaki again, and you can probably tell by the chipper tone in my voice that I have something very important to announce, and you would be right. I am proud to announce that after about 6, 7, 8 months in development, CLAVUMS Adventures, the first adventure, a graphic novel, is now available on my Patreon page. It's absolutely free, it's about 65 odd pages long, and it's a prequel to the first season of CLAVUMS Adventures by about a year. For those of you who are interested, allow me to summarise the plot for you. Meet Nathan Anderson. He doesn't have a lot of friends, and he doesn't do very well in school, and he has a crippling crush on a classmate of his named Lucy. I mean, it's typical teenager stuff, am I right? However, this mundane and slightly depressing landscape will come to an end. An enemy of Nathan's father, Douglas McIntosh, or as we know him, Mad Mac, has mistakenly kidnapped Lucy, thinking that she was Nathan. It makes sense when you read the comic. Now donning the Latin name for Spike, Clavum, Nathan and his friends must go on a perilous journey to rescue their friend. Like I said in the update video that came out at the beginning of this month, this comic is very important to some lore or continuity that I'm setting up in Season 2. Lucy is a very integral character from this point on, so I advise you read this if you want to be up to date. You can access this comic on my Patreon, and I know what you're thinking. Does it cost anything? No. It's the same deal as A Day in the Life of Jason Jones, which if you haven't read, go ahead, it's cool. All you gotta do is go onto my Patreon account, check my posts. The latest post there should be the first adventure post. There will be a hyperlink. That's probably the title of the graphic novel. You click on the hyperlink and it will automatically download the PDF to your computer. Once it's finished, it'll probably be in your downloads on your computer's files, and you can access the PDF through there. With no expenses, it's absolutely free. I would not dare make anyone pay for this kind of thing. This is a prequel comic set 1 year before the first season, and in this comic, you will learn why these guys have decided to fight evil. You'll learn why Clavum calls himself Clavum. You'll kind of learn why he sticks onto that name, and you'll kind of learn why he's so motivated to do the right thing. I had a lot of fun making it. It was fun to draw the locations and the characters with my hands instead of a computer mouse, and I hope you like it. Just to reiterate, this comic is very important and integral to the continuity of Clavum, and Lucy is going to be very important from this point on. You'll understand why. So I advise that you read this comic if you want to understand what's going on in the future. However, I know how daunting it might be for people to have to read a bunch of different comics and watch a bunch of different episodes to be up to date. So I'm hoping that before Season 2 comes out, I'll make a timeline video where I kind of make a timeline from this comic to issue 10 of the magazine that I'm going to release on Patreon. But when that happens, I'll let you know. For those who don't feel like reading the comic, I have news for you. I'm planning on making an audiobook of sorts for this comic, and perhaps the comic stories that come afterwards, but don't quote me on that. I've just got to mix the audio, I just got to put it in a timeline and flesh it out, but I hope to release CLAVUMS Adventures, the first adventure, the audio adventure. I have said adventure too much. So, CLAVUMS Adventures, the first adventure, is now available on Patreon. Go check it out, go tell me what you think about it. I appreciate the feedback. There isn't a like button or comment section on Patreon, I think, so I have no idea if people are actually reading the comic, so I would really appreciate if you just say, hey, that comic was nice, or this comic is poopy, why do you do these things? You know, stuff like that. So I hope you enjoy the comic. I hope you enjoy the story. I ought to get back to making Season 2 because I'm very close to finishing it now. See you around.